Welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and inside this featured product video, I'm checking out an insert and organizer for Massive Darkness 2 from Come On Games. Now, the insert itself is not from Come On Games. It's from Tinkering Paws, and I've actually done a video for one of their other inserts already. That happened a few months back. That was for Bloodborne, the board game. If you want to see that, I'll put it up in the top right-hand corner. That Come On game from 10 to 12 boxes for the all-in pledge down to 3, which is pretty insane. And this one here, I'm hoping we'll do the exact same thing, as Massive Darkness 2 came with a ton of boxes. And this, my friends, is what a Kickstarter all-in for Massive Darkness 2 Hellscape from Come On Games looked like when it originally landed many moons ago. Now, I've had this game, I've played this game a number of times. I've also placed it back on my shelf the exact same way I received it with all of these boxes. And as you can tell, I haven't done anything in terms of gutting out the inserts that are already in there and just condensing things down for space, because some of these boxes do have air pockets inside of them. You can definitely condense things down a little bit, but honestly, on the setup and teardown front, throwing everything into baggies and toss them all inside of a box without any kind of insert or organizer doesn't necessarily make your setup or your teardown a very easy process. You still have to go through all of that, and typically it actually drags it all out. So what I'm hoping to see from the Tinkering Paws insert in this video is this pile here condensed down to something a little more rational. Now, from what I understand from the video and the PDF instructions, and you actually have both ways from the Tinkering Paws website to actually check out how this actually happens, plus this video, of course. But inside of it, it tells us that we'll have 4 boxes at the very end if we don't plan on sleeving anything. If we do plan on sleeving stuff, we'll have 5 boxes. Without further ado, let's dive right into the assembly of the insert and organizer. And when I say assembly, I simply just mean placing components inside of it, because as you saw in the prior shot, all of those pieces for the organizer come pre-assembled. They're ready to go right out of the box. You simply are sliding them into the boxes they're supposed to be inside of, and then placing miniatures inside, specifically housed and kept safe, as well as the cards. You're not going to have to use glue or do any kind of cutting or anything like that. Everything will just be seamless. It's one of the biggest reasons these inserts are so awesome, is there's not a lot of legwork to getting to the end goal, which is getting these boxes removed out of the equation and getting down to something a little more sane. Here's a look at my progress so far, filling out the different miniature trays across the top. You'll see small and medium-sized miniatures, and these are done in extremely creative ways in order to get these miniatures into trays, which are going to reduce the amount of space they need once they're back inside boxes. And I really like how they're done, because the same miniatures are all in a same row. For instance, you'll see here a mob of 6 minions here across the side, and there's actually a number of them in rows here. The second you need them, you simply just grab one and slide the base out of its slot, and it is free to go. When it's inside the box, it's not going to move anywhere, as there's grooves right here. The base is going to slide inside to ensure that it stays put when it's all packed away. Here's a close-up shot of what the trays look like. You can see the grooves there on either side. So this housing here, when it goes inside the box, is going to have multiple miniatures going down the row here for the mobs. And you can see they look super, super nice all in place like this. And again, just condensing the space. What I really like that Tinkering Paws does versus other storage inserts is it really feels like you're actually placing miniatures in a slot they were designed for. And it's done based on the spacing as well. They've really thought about every single mob, for instance, in Massive Darkness 2, the size of the miniature, whether the miniature is carrying a weapon that might jut out to the side, and they've got exact locations for all of these. Again, all referenced in the PDF or the video. It's really easy to put this in, and it's extremely satisfying. Now this shot shows all the tokens laid out across the trays. Again, this is for all of the Massive Darkness 2 core box, as well as all of the expansions from the all-in pledge, all organized nicely. You also see here underneath the bridges where these are seated inside, and once they're laying flat, they are not going to go anywhere. But underneath of this, you'll see another token and then more tokens underneath. Now what's even cooler about all this stuff is once you've got this in position, you can simply take the one that's supposed to go above it, and as you can see, there's ridges is right here on all four corners, and you just slot it in. And now it's locked into position, and you can do the exact same with these ones right here as they slot onto each other and then on top of other boxes. So they keep things secure with these locking mechanisms as part of the insert, which is a huge plus in terms of keeping things stable. Something else I was really impressed by was the dice box. Didn't expect it to be this big. This is a really nice plus, and I honestly thought it would just be big enough for the core dice, but it's not. It actually can handle multiple packs from the Kickstarter all in, which I picked up as add-ons, and this kind of extra touch and detail is really, really impressive. Now here's a look at the trays filled in with cards. We have mini cards here, and again, none of these are currently sleeved. You'll see they take up 3 card trays, and there's space inside of them to move around. There's also these 3 right here for the mobs, standard size cards, as well as some of the sets, doors, and other major cards throughout the campaign system. We also have the roaming monster cards, again, with all these awesome labels. This is a big thing that I loved about the Bloodborne insert that I put together in the prior video. This one here, same thing, has labels for absolutely everything. They simply just slide right in front of the cards that you want to divide up, and that allows you to easily tell where your cards are at any given time. You also have all of these extra pieces here if you're aiming to sleeve your cards. You'll be able to put them across multiple trays and have ample space to get them all inside. You'll see that even inside of these trays, there's lots of space on either side to sleeve and place them inside. For me, having these dividers as part of the organization of the insert is a huge plus. This goes one step beyond just getting the game back into the box to store it away in a safe space. It also helps with setup and teardown. This is going to make your life a lot easier. Now at this point, we're ready to start putting these pieces inside of the boxes. We're going to start with the core box and start filling it in. We are now starting to see the most satisfying parts of this insert come to life as we start to fill each of the boxes. You'll see just how awesomely designed each of these are. With the core box now done, let's move on to the next one. Next, I'll fill in the Dragon Demon box. Now at this point, we're starting to put the bigger miniatures inside the box. You'll also notice on these 4 pieces that make up the inside of the box, they're all connected through interlocking mechanisms that simply slide on rails in place. It's literally as easy as just lining them up and putting them straight down into the box, and they are connected together and won't be coming apart. That's going to keep that stable for where all the miniatures will begin to slide into all of these spaces along the outer sides. So as an example, you can see the tracks and where miniatures have already been placed. I'll be filling this even more. And this box is now filled with all the miniatures that'll be housed in here. We'll go ahead and tilt this down so you can see how it is all in place. That's going to do it for this box. We now move on to the Darkbringer box. We have the base of the box in place. Let's now fill it up. That's going to do it for the Darkbringer box. Let's now move to the 4 Horsemen where the tiles will be placed. Now let's fill up this box. And that completes the consolidation of a whole bunch of boxes, around 12 or so, down to just 4. Now, if you want to accommodate sleeving and you have those boxes, you'll need 1 more box in order to house the additional space for additional sleeved cards. And to do this, you'll make use of the Heavenfall campaign box. For those individuals that are interested in sleeving, this is what the final box will look like. You'll place your extra cards once sleeved in here, and you'll have a grand total of 5 boxes. If you're not a sleever, you only have 4. And there you have it. And as you remember from the very beginning of the video, if you were to check back at that very first shot, you'll remember how many boxes were on the table. We're now down to just 4. Of course, these are medium to large size boxes as everything's compacted into these now, but this is certainly a much better situation than what I had before. Much easier to manage in terms of the number of boxes I need to open, and also much more prepared to actually play once I open them. If you're looking to sleeve your cards, as I mentioned, you'll have one more box which will allow for those sleeved cards to come in. But if you're not, you can let that one go. And that, my friends, will wrap up the featured product video focusing on the Massive Darkness 2 all-in insert from Tinkering Paws. If you want to find any information beyond what you've seen here and the actual link to this thing, it'll be in the video description and pinned comment for you to check out. I really am pleased with this. Anytime I can take a Come project and get it consolidated down to 4 to 5 boxes, 3 would be incredible, but I don't even know if that's possible with the size of Massive Darkness 2. But regardless, this is so much easier and better to manage than what I had before, and I'm very happy with what I've seen here. So hopefully this will be of interest to people looking to condense down this game. If it's still sitting on your shelf in all those regular boxes that it came inside of, and you really want to get things ready to actually get out and play that much quicker, this could be what you've been looking for. And now it's your turn to let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the insert, especially if you already have it and you put it to good use. Let us know what you think about it. Is it worth it? Are you enjoying using it? Is it helping you with your setup and teardown? And for those of you that are contemplating the insert based on this video, let me know in the comments if you have any questions whatsoever. I'll be happy to answer them. Really hope this video helps you, whether you're for, against, or somewhere in between, picking this insert up to hopefully make your Massive Darkness 2 experience that much better. If you're not a part of our Discord server or our Facebook group where we're talking about accessories like this or other solo games within the solo community, we'd love to have you in both spaces if you'll be there, or one or the other. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep on rolling solo.